catch the movers and shakers. The brightest minds from across the country talking about what makes them tick. This is Rock the Talk on indigomusic.com.
All right, welcome to yet another edition of Rock the Talk right here on indigomusic.com. I am very excited today because we have a magician and a mentalist on the other side, and we don't have that every day. So introducing to you, Suhani Shah. Suhani, thank you so much for joining me on Rock the Talk.
I'm happy to be here. Pretty excited.
All right, so Suhani is basically the only female magician and illusionist in the country, and she's also published a lot of books. And and she started her trade at the age of 7. Wow. Suhani, you need to why at the age of 7? Most people at the age of 7 would be running around for chocolate. What happened?
I think chocolates weren't available, so I had to look out for something else. No, so I was very curious. I think all kids are very curious, and so was I. And I used to I want to do everything. I just want to do everything. So I have a brother who's 5 years older to me. Okay. If he's doing something, I want to do it. And then I once watched on television a magic performance, and I wanted to do that as well. So in the thought of you want to do everything, you just end up doing so many things. Then at one point you have to decide on one thing. For me, I was like, "Mujhe magic karna hai." I was very sure because I think I got that kick out of it. It was very interesting. I think every kid, at one point we have thought of, can I fly in the air? Can I get chocolates through magic? So when I was really able to do that, I was like, this is what I want to do all my life. So
I have to agree with you because when I was a child, I also thought I could fly in the air, and I ended up jumping off a tree and breaking all my milk teeth. I mean, this is a true story. Wow. That's when I realized I could not fly. But tell me, you must have, you started so early, and I'm sure you were clear-headed at the age of 7 that this is what you want to do. But talk us through maybe the first trick you ever learned.
Okay, so it wasn't really like a trick that I learned, or I did not have this. It wasn't a planned thing. It wasn't like, okay, I go tell my parents, and my parents prepare for it and prepare for my first trick. It wasn't an organized process. Okay. It was very... bas ho raha hai types, it's happening, let it go with the flow. Okay. I never thought I'm going to become no kid at you're 6 years old, 5 years old, I'm going to become a professional magician. But I watched a magic program on television. I remember walking up to my father at the age of 6 and telling him that I want to do magic. Okay. And my father, like any other father, was like, go study, And I was a little stubborn. So after a few days, I walked up to him again and I was like, I want to do magic. And he's like, go study, It's how and I was somebody who always would go and one day or the other saying something new. Aaj ye karna hai, aaj wo karna hai. So he's like, this girl just wants to do everything. But magic was very out of order for him to even go out and encourage me. How are you going to do it? Other things he still supported, Ki chalo aapko ye karna hai, he'll get me if you want to play an instrument, he would get me a keyboard. Right. I wanted to play badminton, he would get me rackets. I want to play table tennis, he would do. Magic, what is he going to do? I don't belong to a family that comes from the magic fraternity. Right. So I remember to convince my parents, I did a magic trick. What happened was I took the dough, roti banane ka jo aata hota hai. I went to the kitchen. I took that from my mother. I took my father's handkerchief. And as a kid, we write on slates, the black slates, white chalks. Right. So I took those and I called my parents and I was like, I'm going to show you something very interesting. I didn't tell them I'm going to perform a magic trick because I was not sure if I'm going to be able to do it or even if it's called magic. I just want to impress them some way. Right. So I stuck the dough on my eyes, press it hard and stick it and cover my eyes, and I tied a handkerchief. Okay. And I told them to write something on the slate, and I would write exactly the same thing blindfolded. Okay. And that turned out to be my first ever magic act. What did you end up writing? What did your parents end up writing on the slate? My father had written mother.
Wow, so romantic. Okay.
Yeah, mother doesn't sound okay. So my father had written mother, and I was too small, so I was not even into writing. I mean, I
Right,
was six
right.
years old. I did not even know how to. I mean, basic writing, ABCD talk. You know how kids
Yeah.
at 6 year old write. So I wrote the same thing, and in fact, I told them to draw something, and then I replicated the drawing on the other side. So all blindfolded, and that impressed my parents, and that made them realize that this girl is actually serious about what she's talking.
Wow.
And we should encourage. So
Wow.
that's the time when my parents were like, then we had to find people to teach me magic, because magic is not easy to learn. There's nobody who out there teaching magic, or there's not a school or an institution or a class that you can pick up to become a magician. So then the entire struggle started. It took a long time to find people to teach me magic.
Right.
And my father came from a mindset that if you want to do something, you do it on a larger scale. So my father was like, you're not going to perform in a party or in a school. Do you want to do a stage show? Only then we talk. And I'm like, I want to perform. Anywhere is okay.
So he had a vision for you, and it eventually manifested, which is amazing. And it's amazing that you managed to convince your parents about your career at the age of 7. Most people are not able to do that even at the age of 25. But how are you taking to virtual shows right now? You know, thanks to the pandemic, stage shows are on a hold. Now it's all virtual. So was it easy for you to adapt to virtual shows?
Being an artist who's been on stage for 23 years of my life, like I started performing, and I don't think there has been this long a gap of me not being on stage in last 23 years.
Wow.
So this is the first time that there is a stretch of like 8 months of me not seeing the stage, and it terrifies me when I think about it like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel the virtual shows and has helped me to maintain my sanity. You know, it's nowhere. It's not the experience is completely different to a stage show. It cannot be compared. There are two different things. The acts are different. The audience interaction is different. The vibe is totally different. But I think initially I thought I don't want to perform digitally because it might just ruin the art form. But then, you know, I try to create acts that can only be performed digitally. So now I have a show which is, if you don't watch it digitally, you don't watch it ever. Like it is meant for a digital audience.
Even if
I start performing live shows, I'll still perform the digital show because they're two different things altogether. I have like two different IPs now.
Nice. Okay.
So
I guess the pandemic really gave you this opportunity to do something completely different. So, I mean, there's always a positive. Yeah.
It helped to, you know, it challenged the creativity.
Yeah.
And helped us to like do something. Initially, it was very challenging to do digital shows. It was very like, kaise baat karna hai, how I'm going to do this. But after a few shows, I think I got the hang of it.
You kind of, get the hang of it. All right. And also, you actually dropped out of school to pursue magic. In fact, take us through that decision, and how were your parents, again, I guess it tested their parenting a little bit as well. Okay, my child is stepping out of school, but they still managed to support you through that. So take us through that entire period.
Okay, so I started performing magic as a hobby, but even as a hobby, the magic was never performed as essay for no reason. It was not inconsequential. It was very important part of what I was doing. My parents took it seriously. So my first ever stage show was in a big auditorium. Like I never performed in a school party. It was in a huge auditorium. There were 1,000 people. There was a chief minister of Gujarat, and it happened in Ahmedabad. So it was a massive show. The media gave me a kickstart. I was all over the newspapers. I was literally everywhere. So it started well, and then what happened was I was called for shows in Bombay. So I had to stay in Bombay for 3 months. From there, I got another contract where I had to go to US to perform for 3 months, 4 months. Then I was back. I had to be in Rajasthan. The thing happened was the series of events just started, and my parents were like, "This should not stop when you are getting such a kickstart. Why should you stop it? Because this is what everybody craves as an artist." So there was a point where my school exams and my shows would clash.
Okay.
And then the decision had to to be made whether you want to go to school to give your exam or you want to perform. It was definitely not my decision. I'm too young to make that decision. It was,
Right.
of course, my parents. And
Mhm.
my father was very clear. Do you want to sit in a class with 60 or you want to perform in front of 60,000? The
Right.
decision's been made. And if you want to learn, you learn anywhere. If you don't want to learn, to school jaake bhi kya hi kar legi.
Absolutely.
So my parents were very clear, and I'm really fortunate for the vision my parents and the support they gave me. I think I owe it to them literally everything, because as a kid you don't make any decision, they decide for you. And I'm just glad the risk they took with me for not sending me to school, because it could have just been otherwise. The entire story would have been so twisted. But
but kudos to your parents, I mean, for making such a decision, such a big decision. Okay, so Suhani Shah, we have come to the end of the interview, but before you go, I mean, we have about 5 minutes or so left. So if you can quickly do a trick with us, maybe with me, that'll be great. So
yeah, you give me a timer in my head, which is like, oh, okay, it's difficult. Don't play with a mentalist, okay?
All right, yeah.
But let me try and do something. Again, the digital thing. So for me, on my Zoom, I'm gonna pin your video so I can see you like nice and big. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Melvin, very simply, I want you to. The easiest thing would be, okay, imagine this. Mm-hmm. Just imagine this. You can use it. How are you like a reader? Would you read a hard copy book, or you are somebody
I read a
lot?
Book. I like to read hard copy books. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it this way. I was going to say the phone, but let's skip the phone. Let's say you pick up a book.
Okay. I mean, we can do the phone for now. That's okay. But yeah, whatever you call.
Okay, your choice. Pick up. Imagine this. You don't have to really do it. Imagine in your head, either you're picking up a book or a phone. Okay. Do whatever you want. What have you done? Just tell me. Phone or book?
I've taken the phone.
You've taken the phone. Okay, great. So you open your browser, close your eyes, and just imagine what I'm saying. Okay. Visualize it in your head. Okay. So you take your phone. You open whichever browser you use. You open the browser. Okay. Now you go on the search bar. Okay. Which is also the URL for most of the browsers. Right. I'm supposed to keep my eyes closed, right? Yeah. Visualize what I'm saying. Visualize what I'm saying. Try to focus well, man. Focus, okay? Focus, it's important. Okay. On this search bar or the URL, wherever you write, you are writing a word. You're typing it out using your keyboard on the phone. You're typing this out. Okay. Okay? Right. Okay. Now, you can open your eyes right now. Okay. So when I asked you to type it down, you were actually, I felt you were saying the words. You were actually, okay. You were doing that, right? Yeah, I was. So I noticed that. You were very loud in your head. Okay. And this was not a short word. When I say a shorter word, it was more than 4-5 letters. It was more than that. Right, it was. Can you count the number of letters in your mind? Don't tell me. Okay. That's 7 or 8. Yeah. Okay. Also, you didn't take a lot of time in typing it down. Like the moment I asked you, type it down, you just did it. You didn't even think, oh, what should I type? You were just like, right. Which means what you've thought of is something, either you're seeing it, or it's around you, or it's on your table, or it's in your background, or it's maybe on the Zoom screen, or it's in my background. Right. Somewhere it's there around, because you just like, quickly, whatever came to your mind, first thing you typed that down, correct? Right, yeah. Okay, great. Now imagine this word over there, written down. Okay. And I'm going to try and get the word that you're thinking of. How amazing would that be if I get it? It'll be actually extremely amazing. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. I'm actually excited. For all our viewers, let's confirm this. We haven't set this up, right? I haven't told you to take this word. We haven't. She has no idea what the word is. Unless I was reading, she read my lips, but I don't think I said the words with my lips and I was thinking about it, so no problem. Yeah, you said the E. You said the E with your lips, so that's okay. I see the E over there, and I see the E somewhere in the first half of the word, correct? Correct, yes. The first half of the word, okay. Right. It's a 9 letter or 8? Yeah, even I'm a little doubtful of that. I need to count again. It was a little tricky. But... It's 9 letters is what 8 or 9 is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's 9, I guess. I guess.
And you had to count it twice.
Yeah, I have to
I'm
count it.
amazed. Okay.
Clearly,
Are
I've
you?
not gone to school as well.
If you are not clear in your mind, definitely I can't get it. But okay, okay. So let's get to this. Think of this word in your mind. Keep saying this word in your mind repeatedly. In your mind, keep saying it. I like when you close your eyes. Now that you've already closed your eyes, imagine that this word is written on a big screen in front of you in different colors, big, bold, like it's moving around. And this is a combination of two words. Open your eyes. Wow, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I think I know the word you're thinking of, and I'm happy you're thinking of this word.
What is the word?
It's a combination of two words because I get a list in the end and I get mental in the start. Are you thinking of the word mentalist?
Wow, absolutely amazing. I am really, really amazed by that. Yes, I was thinking of mentalist. That is the word. And you got it right. That's just fantastic. Oh my God. Suhani Shah, this was amazing. I mean, over a Zoom call, I wasn't even on stage. You were not here to like, I don't know, read my mind. You're literally, I don't know, sitting in, where are you, Delhi or Bombay?
Bombay.
Bombay. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I had a great time, and thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Melbin.
And hopefully someday you will do another trick when we are maybe in the same room. So
sure.
Hopefully that'll happen soon. Thank you so much, Suhani Shah.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching.
Well, that was Suhani Shah. What a performance in the end that was. She figured out the word that I was thinking about. Well, I am just completely blown over. Anyway, this was Rock the Talk. Hope you enjoyed it. And for more such fun chats, always remember to stay tuned right here to indigomusic.com. Bye-bye.